everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Theodore Great and today I have a guest. Ta-da!
Hi.
Her name is Cecile. Her full name is Cecilia
Juliana Hana Maria, but
Yeah.
you can call me Cecile.
Cecile is one of student in Universitas Gadjah Mada in the Faculty of Economics, and she just finished her double degree in Erasmus University, which you can watch in another video. And she just went back from the Netherlands. As we know, now is the global pandemic of the coronavirus. So today I want to ask her about traveling within pandemic, because Cecile has go back and forth from and out of Indonesia during this pandemic. So if you are one of the person who needs to go abroad during this pandemic, we hope that this information will be useful for you. So when did you come back to Indonesia?
I actually go back to Indonesia 2 times.
Okay.
The first one when the pandemic happened on March,
Yes.
and I decided just to return to Indonesia on April.
Okay.
So the first one is April, and after several months weeks in Indonesia, I decided to went back again to Netherlands because I still keep my stuffs in there, so I have to
Okay.
go back, pack all of my stuffs, and also
Yes.
return again to Indonesia, back again to Netherlands on July,
Okay.
and back again to Indonesia on August. that.
Okay. So she went back and forth 2 times. So what are the documents or the preparation that you have to provide to the immigration when you go back from Netherlands to Jakarta,
Okay.
both in April and August?
Okay, so actually there are huge differences when I went back to Indonesia on April
Yes.
and when I went back to Indonesia August. So when I went back to Indonesia on April, I do not need any kind of documents, just like tickets, passport, and also the residence permit of Netherlands. But when I traveled back to Netherlands on July, it's kind of, I don't know, confusing because when I would like to check in the Soekarno-Hatta airport, I check my luggage, baggage, and other things. The staffs ask for the coronavirus test, the result.
Okay.
But when I checked in, he saw that I have this residence permit, so he didn't ask for the
Coronavirus
coronavirus, even
test.
though I already tested and bring it with me. But I did not need to give it to him. And also when I arrived in Schiphol, there's no kind of security check or temperature or even recommendation for quarantine. I think it's kind of individual, voluntary things.
Yeah.
It's really easy actually to go to Schiphol and enter the immigration because they just see your passport and the residence permit, and they know that you have that kind of residence permit, and they allow you to enter the Netherlands. But when I returned to Indonesia in August, it's really complicated. First, I have to this document with me, the coronavirus testing result.
Is it PCR or rapid test?
It's supposed to be PCR, the swab test.
Okay.
So I did the test in Amsterdam, and I have to bring the result with me when I enter Indonesia. After I arrive in Indonesia, there's a long line, so I have the registration form. I think 3 pages or 4 pages, but my identity, but my symptom and result and other things, and I have to give it to the staffs in there, medical staffs. It's not immigration yet, actually. So I have to give it to the medical staff first.
The airport staff. Like
Airport
crew.
staff, airport crew, with the form that I actually have to fill. And after that, I also have to sit again.
Okay, waiting.
And waiting. Right now, it's guarded by the army, I think.
Okay, they wear uniforms?
Yeah, they wear that uniform, and also they guarded that thing. So I have to sit again and have to give it. I don't know which one, why is it different between that crew, the first crew and this crew.
Yes.
So I have to give it again the documents, and they will see and they will stamp. After that second crew, this crew, airport crew or staffs, now I will go to I went to the immigration. Immigration also I have to give it again, the documents,
The stamp
thing, the paper that already stamped by the second airport staff. And after I went to the baggage bill, there's also another army. I mean people with uniform. He asked with the documents that are already stamped.
Okay.
So it's like the third time. No, this is actually the fourth. Yeah,
After
the fourth.
immigration also.
After immigration. After that army, the fourth one, I met the tax.
The Yeah.
the tax stuff.
Yeah.
The one, yeah. I mean, like I have to give
Bea
it for
cukai, bea cukai, yeah.
I have to give like the
Everything document, and the
document.
bea cukai form.
And they
Yeah.
check my luggage because usually this is actually kind of tip.
Yeah.
After you actually took your baggage from the baggage belt, you have to see whether or not your luggage sign like white
Yeah.
sign. So you have to wipe it.
Ah, okay. If you wipe it, they don't check it.
They don't check it because I already wipe it and with a wet tissue, and I don't need to scan again my baggage. I just give it the form of the text return, and after that's like fifth, right?
Yes.
And the sixth one, after I
Pass the
bea cukai, again once more. This is the
Okay,
last time
six.
I have the met again the man with also with the uniform.
Okay.
And then I can meet my mom.
Okay.
Such a long process. It's kind of crazy, I think.
So the documents are, you have to show the coronavirus test, like
Result,
the PCR
The
test,
registration form that I've already
registration
stamped.
form that you get in the airplane.
No, in the first one that I have to
okay.
fill.
So after you go out from the
The
airplane,
airplane.
they will give you a form.
I have to fill the form.
Fill the form, and then
And also the result. I mean, I don't have any kind of symptom like
Ah, okay.
temperature, it's like that. Even
Okay.
my blood pressure.
okay.
Yeah.
Do they test it?
Yeah, they in the report. I was
Oh,
surprised.
okay.
Okay, show me your hands. Okay, what do you want to do with
Oh,
me?
yeah,
It's like,
okay.
okay, this is kind of
This is extra. Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So are there only 3 or there are more?
I mean, the registration forms itself is actually consists of more than 2 pages.
Okay.
So yeah, the documents pretty
Pretty complicated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and also one more.
Yeah.
People who do not test the coronavirus yet. They have their another line.
Oh, they can get tested in the airport.
Yeah, but the rapid, I think.
Okay.
I think so because I've already tasted, so I don't know the process
Yeah,
for
yeah.
those people who actually not being tested. So yeah.
So how much is the PCR test in Netherlands?
Wow, it really depends for which
Like,
hospital,
yeah.
I think. Or yeah, because for the private one, it's really expensive, like 149 euro.
Okay.
It's the website is the Corona test lab.
Okay.
There's only one in Amsterdam, so
Ah.
and it's also the purpose of for those who would like to travel outside the country. So that's why
Okay.
when I went there are many students, Indonesian students from other cities, like from the Venter that would like to went back to Indonesia.
Yeah.
So they actually also went to the same place. But I heard actually you can go Dinas Kesehatan local.
The Ministry of Health, the
local one.
not
The name
national.
in Netherlands you call it Gemeente. Gemeente. So you can go there, and I heard that the
It's cheaper.
price cheaper, and also you can go to the Erasmus Medical School,
Okay.
Medical College. So hospital of Erasmus Medical College also provide the coronavirus test,
Okay.
and I heard that the price is 80 or 90 euros less than 100 euros. But if you have the symptom, you actually can test it
For
for free.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we don't want to have the symptom,
Yeah,
right?
so-
So yeah.
When you buy the ticket, do the
Oh.
airlines ask you to provide these documents?
No, they're not. We just know the information from the embassy in Den Haag
Okay.
because they update the latest information that you need to enter Indonesia. So they are please not provide that kind of information. It's actually the embassy of Indonesia in Den Haag.
And then when you enter Schiphol,
Uh-huh.
you need anything?
No, I mean
Just
like
ticket?
yeah,
and-
just like you go to the check-in counter and they will
Yeah.
just put your luggage and they will wait your baggage and you can go to the waiting room.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's no temperature
Check.
check or other
No
things.
additional documents?
Oh, yeah. The women in the
Yeah.
check-in counter asked me whether or not I have this check result coronavirus.
coronavirus.
Yeah. And also I have to fill the 1-page document that I don't have any symptom. So she said that in case that the security would like to check the health declaration,
Yeah.
whether or not I have this health declaration, so I just can show to him or her. This is
Obligatory.
Obligatory.
Okay. So is there anyone actually checking that document?
No.
Okay.
No, because I have to tell you that in Schiphol there are many people.
Okay.
Already a lot of people, so the security don't have any time
Time
to check
to-
it one by one. The line itself for the security check, you have to scan your bag and everything is
Yes.
really long. I've waited 20 minutes or 30 minutes,
Okay.
so there's a really long line. So it's like a normal,
Yeah. Already like normal
normal
Schiphol.
Schiphol thing.
Yeah, I think it's one of the
Busiest,
busiest. Yeah, the busiest.
But I mean, it's already like normal.
Mhm.
I thought it's already busy enough.
Yeah.
But it's actually not busy enough. I mean, there's still
Okay.
flights that not scheduled yet because of
Yeah.
the travel restriction. So I'm kind of wondering what actually happened in the really normal
Yeah.
Schiphol. It must be like really busy.
Yes.
And also because Schiphol is not that big actually.
For
It's-
like that many
yeah,
flights,
for
yeah,
for
that's true.
international airport that actually have so many flights that connect Europe and UK and United
Yeah.
States, it's actually small.
That's true. That's
I mean,
true.
compared to Changi, of course, have so many terminal and other things, so it's actually small airport.
So if you are going to Schiphol, guys, traveling anywhere, maybe be there like 3 to 4 hours,
yeah,
just to be safe.
and people actually didn't wear
Oh.
masks when I went to Schiphol,
Okay.
even though there's already the announcement that you have to wear masks, but there's still people, a small group of people that still didn't
Don't wear masks.
Yeah, don't wear masks. So yeah.
What about when you arrive in Indonesia? Do people wear masks?
Everyone wear mask. Even
Okay, good.
almost everyone wear that medical
Shield.
uniform.
Ah,
The whole
Hamzat.
yeah, the whole
okay.
white uniform.
APD.
APD, yeah.
Okay.
That APD. So I think it's better though. I mean,
Yeah.
And everyone
better to be safe.
Everyone also already Indonesia already wear the face shield because in Europe not everyone already have that face shield.
When you arrive in Indonesia or when you arrive in Netherlands, do you do the 14 days quarantine?
When I arrived in Netherlands in July, after I traveled back from Jakarta to Netherlands, I do not do the quarantine
Yeah.
thing because like the officer, the staff did not recommend for you to do the quarantine thing.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean it's like kinda you have to realize it by yourself.
Okay.
But yeah, that's why. But I actually stay at my room 7 or 8 days. So I did grocery shopping through online, through website. So
okay.
they dropped the grocery things in my apartment, my student housing.
Yes.
It's like for 8 days I actually stay at my room.
Okay. And
But-
you got no symptoms?
No symptom. Then after that I decided, okay, maybe I can go outside because I don't have that kind of symptom. But when I arrived in Indonesia on August, of course they recommend you to do the quarantine thing. They actually give me the medical card. So this is in the worst case happening that within the 14 days there's a symptom that happened to me. I have to go to the hospital and bring
the
the
medical
card, the yellow card.
Ah, okay.
So they can see that actually I just traveled back
Okay.
from outside from outside Indonesia,
Okay.
both in April and August. So I think the procedure for that yellow medical card is still same.
So it's already exists like since
Yeah,
April.
since April.
But do you have to report to anyone within the 14 days? Do you have any symptoms? Is there any reporting mechanism?
No, if you don't have any symptom, you don't need to report to anyone.
Okay.
But if you have to go to the doctor or hospital. They're
Okay.
recommended by the government that can manage that COVID symptom.
Okay. So it's actually mandatory to do 14 days quarantine, but nobody will supervise you, so it's
Self.
monitor by yourself.
In Netherlands, actually, the government recommend only 10 days quarantine.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I mean they're in their website.
Yeah.
It's 10 days quarantine compared to 14 days.
Do you have any tips and tricks that you can give to anyone who wants to also go abroad, like
Okay.
either students or business?
I think first of all, you have to make sure that all of your documents are complete.
Okay.
So yeah, in the case that they try to prevent you to go outside or enter the country, at least you have to make sure the documents are complete. The first document must be the result of the coronavirus
Yeah.
that you are negative. And also other supporting documents like passport, residence permit. And I actually even send the email to the embassy in Den Haag.
Oh, okay.
Indonesian embassy in Den Haag that I want to go back to Indonesia. So could you please give me a recommendation letter? But in the end of the day, in Indonesia they do not check my recommendation letter. So the first one that they still check is that result, the coronavirus result. The second one is actually the mask itself, because the spreadness of the coronavirus is actually happening in the closed room, right?
Yes.
Such as in the airplane, and because the duration of
For airplane
is like 14 hours,
Yes.
so it's a really long time. So you have to make sure that you always. I
Wear your
actually
mask.
change my mask every 3 hours.
Okay.
So I maybe change 5 until 6, but that's okay. And make sure to wear the medical mask instead of
Fabric
mask. The medical mask have so many layers, and I
Yes.
think the purpose is to prevent you to
From getting any
infected by the
yes.
virus. So wear that mask. And also in the airport, you can use the facial if you want. But in the airplane, I do not use the facial because it's annoying to be trapped in that kind of facial. So I choose to just use my mask. And also I always bring the alcohol with me. I mean, not alcohol for drink, alcohol hand sanitizer. So before I sit in airplane, I just like spray everything. The table in front of me, the seat, and also the holder. Besides, and also don't forget to wash your hand before you want to eat the airplane food that they actually give to you. And I think that's all. And actually, I use that kind of jacket, raincoat, just to make sure that
all of your body are like covered.
Covered.
I think another tip you told me yesterday is about choosing the flight that is clear to your country.
Yeah,
of
exactly.
destination.
My recommendation is I think you have to choose the direct flight instead of the transit one. The direct flight must have an expensive price, but I think the risk is less. I mean, you cannot trap in another country because if you transit, maybe you will not trap in country, but we'll never know, right?
Never know.
So to prevent that kind of thing happen, you trap in Qatar or in Singapore, it's better to have the direct flight because there's actually a flight that actually also transit in Doha, Qatar, or even in Singapore. But because we transit, we also have to follow the procedure of that country.
So although it's kind of the airport, but it's still in the country.
Exactly. So it's kind of confusing and complicated.
You have to do more research as well whether you have to provide anything in the country.
Yeah, true. And actually, this is kind of, I don't know, this is promotion or not. But if you go from Amsterdam to Jakarta or Jakarta to Amsterdam, you will use Garuda, right?
Yes.
Garuda Indonesia.
There is only one flight that is there.
Right, exactly. And they actually have that student discount.
Okay.
With the 40 kilograms baggage.
Wow, that's a lot.
Exactly. They really give you that student discount. As long as you can prove you're a student by the student card, they will give you that kind of special price. So even though maybe it's still expensive, but at least you
get a little bit
and also with 40 kilograms baggage. So I think it's beneficial actually for everyone.
If you are going back from Netherlands to Indonesia, you can check out this promo. Do you show the student card before you buy?
No, you just like email them.
Okay.
You can check it on their website. Email them, ask, hey, I would like to buy the student pass, and it's already automatic. So when you check in the airport, they already know you will use that student
promo.
Yeah, student promo. But just to prevent worst thing happen, just bring the student card also with you.
One last question, I'm interested about
the flying experience. Was there anything different during the flight?
They're still same. They just remember you don't forget to wash your hands. They always give you announcement constantly to prevent the COVID spreaders happen in this airplane, in this flight. You have to do this kind of procedure, blah 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 blah, yada yada yada. It's like,
okay, thank you so much, Cecil, for the information. So actually, this video is just information, guys.
It's just because a really emergency happens.
Because he needs to go back home.
Yeah, because my contract housing already expired. I guess already the end, so I have to go back to Indonesia. So it's kind of like first major.
But like, if you need this information, we hope that this can be helpful for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So please share and like this video, and also comment down below if you have any more questions or anything, video ideas, and also share this video to anyone who you think need this information. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
This video is made based on Cecil's experience traveling in 2020. Therefore, there might be new updates. So please make sure to check the latest regulations in the countries you are traveling from and into. For Indonesia, this is the new regulation, can be found in the link in the description from February 2021. However, this might get updated again, so make sure to check the newest rules by the government. And as always, stay safe and healthy.